I expect a lot of runs, but we're going to see how they handle it early on here in the game.
Justin Fields, not playing Justin Fields after the start of the season last year, and then ending up in a position where you do nothing this offseason to improve your quarterback room. I talk to people.
One of the top pass rushers in the league, and DeAndre Baker, first-round pick by the Giants.
Well, this is the #1 rushing offense in the UFL, and Jarvion Howard with the burst into the second level, setting up 1st and goal on his first carry of the night.
I mean, two explosive plays right here by the St. Louis offense. It is unbelievable what these guys are able to do, and Jarvion Howard was the third running back. Look at him right here, just a little inside zone, bringing the tight end back, and then a nice cut to get outside. This dude, 12 carries, 60 yards, and a touchdown last week. He's rushed for 222 yards in the season. Three-headed monster there, running back for St. Louis, man.
Jacob Saylor's not expected to carry the ball much, if at all, tonight. Their lead back, Howard. Silver's quick set again for Butler, and a flag comes out. He was tangled up with Willie Drew on the sideline. And our first marker of the night.
One line, correct. Pass interference. It's number 23. By rule, the ball leads at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, look, Willie Drew Jr. right here just gets his hands on him. He's got to get back in phase, and this is exactly what I said about Hakeem Butler. He's 6'5", 220. He's a perfect red zone target. I like that Brandon Silvers is being aggressive early in this game.
It was Butler's 38-yard catch that set him up down in plus territory before Howard went for 20 on the ground.
Job as a veteran, when a young player in any position, any team, to mentor the young player.
Yes.
Explain what you mean.
Because mentoring the young player is only going to make that player better, which thereby makes the team better.
Howard, again,
now, you're only as strong as your weakest link.
It's just a simple
so the whole point of the exercise
right here. You're going to have this tight end,
everybody makes everyone better. That's why you go out there and you practice.
And run right there through the middle. This offensive line has been excellent all year.
So you do that with the reps on the practice field, with the competition, but you also do that by sharing notes and coaching points
it's an entirely new offensive line tonight.
It's a ridiculous answer from Joe Flacco.
But is it different when there's only one?
No, it's not different. No, it's not different.
You play multiple guys.
It's not different because there's no guarantee that Joe Flacco is going to be healthy for 17 games, especially at 40 years old. It's stupid to not consider trying to do everything that you can to coach these other guys up. Nobody is saying that you have to do your job at a lesser level in terms of performing on the field. But if you can happen to impart some wisdom onto those guys who you're spending 12, 14, 16 hours a day with in training camp, then why wouldn't you do that? And here's the other part that nobody wants to acknowledge, but I'm going to go ahead and say it out loud. Just because you're mentoring somebody doesn't mean you can't be the starting quarterback either.
So the try is
just because
good.
you're mentoring doesn't mean that you're relegated to backup status.
Surgery that had to happen in training camp. So now that JJ's their guy, Kwesi's locked in, Kevin O'Connell's going to be there for a long time. It feels like the Minnesota Vikings have found some stability. If JJ can play quarterback well. There's obviously a conversation about, are they going to bring in Aaron Rodgers? Does Aaron Rodgers want to go play with, this Minnesota Vikings offense that is absolutely loaded? Kwesi was able to get Justin Jefferson paid while also bringing in a lot of other weapons on the offensive side. He was also able to almost have a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. They are stacked on both sides of the ball. All contracts are seemingly good. And the only question mark is J.J. McCarthy a guy? They have rolled the dice and said, we are willing to bet on it. We believe in him. They drafted him high. Jim Harbaugh, whenever he was coming out of Michigan, said, this is the best quarterback in the draft. The guy had the best workout I've ever seen, is what Jim Harbaugh said. Now, Jim Harbaugh did recruit him to Michigan. He did win a national championship with Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. But that's literally the only question mark. Everything else that has happened around Minnesota, I think everybody would say, yeah, that's the right move. Kwesi, obviously a general manager, a large part of all of that. He gets an extension. Congratulations to him. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And Chase, let's look at your players to watch in this phase. St. Louis defense, DCO.
Yeah, I got Abram Smith, running back. Look for the former Bear
I think it's going to be a tougher race in the AFC West for the Chiefs than they have had in more than half a decade. The Denver Broncos are a playoff team last year that in the first game at Arrowhead that they played, they were a blocked field goal away from beating the Chiefs. They have improved significantly on defense. Their quarterback is heading into his second year. The Los Angeles Chargers, coached by Jim Harbaugh, had a great first year. They should be even better. I think those are two teams in the Chiefs division that are set up to give them a stronger push than they've gotten from anybody in quite a while.
I agree. And for what it's worth, the Raiders tend to play them tough, and I think they're going to get better with their new coaching situation there as well. Mike T, how about it?
We're talking about it for both these quarterbacks making their first start of the year
said, those teams are improved,
not having the most ideal conditions. But you also do know this, Chase. Sometimes when that footing gets bad, and we've seen it with these offenses opening drives, there can be an advantage for those receivers. And it's a pretty good field. It is raining, it is pouring, it's been wet through warm-ups.
This offense can get back to being the explosive offense we've seen Patrick Mahomes had a couple years ago. So I'll take Mahomes and a great offensive line, and I'll give you the rest of the division.
Watch your footing out there.
This has the look of longest yard with the schoolyard, you-know-what scene as we get...
We're good. Set.
Part run blocking and part breaststroke maybe necessary as we resume. And right into the puddle again. Jarvion Howard is swarmed. Trey Dean in the backfield as they sell out for the run. It's third down.
I mean, Trey Dean, Niles Scott in the backfield. They're not blocking anyone right here. Obviously, they're trying to run the football, but the entire offensive line goes left. And two red jerseys come right through the B gap. 3rd and 13 right here. Thinking draw, you can't let them throw it right here in the weather.
Empty right.
Unless it's a jump ball. Looks like they're throwing it.
180. 180.
And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Shotgun, the snaps matter, everything matters, right? Brandon Silvers tries to get it. Good job just jumping on the ball. He tries to throw it out of bounds. Oh, that could have been extremely dangerous as Willie Drew Jr. is sitting right there. Just throw this ball way into the stands. Throw it into the beer snake if they can. Just shows how wet the football is.
Just not the beer snake that's behind him, because then they get charged with the safety.
Never.
I think we're going to see some things in the next couple of hours that we haven't seen all UFL season. Oh, a little trouble with the snap for Hoffrichter. And he does get it away, and that stays in bounds because it's floating. This is so good.
This is unbelievable. The ball is floating. I mean, a punt. I mean, all these snaps, you see this, all this matters. So, oh, man. The rest better.
Imagine this is, I don't know, middle of the road as far as tough conditions you played in with rain.
You know, but honestly, this is just mental toughness. And part of it is like being a kid again. There are people watching this around the country right now going, yeah, you know what? This is what my turkey bowl looks like on Thanksgiving. Like, we go out and play, right? And I honestly think that is the mindset you have to have out here is, yeah, it's brutal, it's slowed down, but let's just go play like we did when we were 8, 9, 10, or those turkey bowl guys do. That has to be the mindset tonight.
You got to fully buy in. You know you're wet. You're going to get more wet as the game continues to go on. So ball security here. Both of these teams really good at ball security this year. That's paramount in rain games.
Ready? Go.
We've seen a couple of runs. They've gone nowhere. This is pulled by DeLillo, the quarterback, and a little short pass out to Roland sets up a third down and what we would usually call manageable, but I'm not sure right now.
And you're probably going to see a lot of shotgun, right? Because under center, it is much more difficult for the quarterback to get the snap. I always wanted to move to shotgun. No matter what under center plays you have, move to shotgun, see the football, try to hand the ball off. You're not going to see deep passes down the field. It's going to be a run fest.
And you're also going to see this clock running, boys. It's going to be a running clock the rest of the night.
Ready? Go.
Quick bubble and through the arms of Deion Jackson. That's incomplete, and another splash ball. It's fourth down.
Yeah, and look, I mean, if I'm Deion Jackson right there, I'm taking your gloves off. I mean, they're going to throw screens left and right. Watch these gloves on. As soon as you have those gloves that are slick when you're wet, you need leather, like the old school leather football gloves, or go no gloves at all. So, like you're going to see all night long, it's going to be quick screens, it's going to be a run, it's a running clock. Both teams want to get out of here without any injuries.
We saw Hoffrichter, the St. Louis punter, trouble handling the long snap, but no problem for Paxton Brooks, who, given all the conditions, I'm not sure you want to touch that. That's a live ball, and St. Louis inside their own 5. They avoid disaster with Micah Abraham. It is like playing football in the Potomac River right now.
Just get away from the football. What are we doing?
So Silvers and the St. Louis offense back out, and the first play since the delay that has a little bit of downward movement to it as Kevon Latulis moves it ahead for 2nd down.
Yeah, he had a great game last week. This is a guy they're going to count on next week in the championship. But that's what I was going to say. Backed up like this, ball security, especially in these conditions, is premium. Just hand the football off, get some breathing room so the ball doesn't go out of the back of the end zone.
And the reason St. Louis is backed up, difficulty receiving the punt. And there's a 1st down for Latulis. Got 8 on the first carry, 6 on this one, and a 1st down. There's a flag down.
Looks like it could be a hold right here.
Scotty, what number?
Looks like it's on Chase Allen, number 87.
Holding. Offense number 87, half the distance to the goal. 2nd down.
Yeah, you're going to see right here on the left side
the
of the
foul is
screen,
enforced to the 2-yard line.
Trey Dean
down.
Blitzes through the C gap, and as soon as you get that right hand on the front of the jersey and tackle him, they're going to call that every time.
Yeah, 19.
It is an all-new offensive line this week for St. Louis. The tight ends are the same. Allen, the tight end, with Jake Sutherland. And movement again.
54. False start. Offense number 54. Half the distance to the goal. 2nd down.
Fans are going crazy down there. This is backed up situation. The cadence, a backup quarterback, the beer snake caused that offsides right there. This is a big situation when you're backed up like this. You got to be loud. You got to get your entire offensive line on the same page. That beer snake's growing, man.
Almost as tall as the Washington Monument already. Inside run on 2nd down. And it'll be 3rd and long. So funky conditions, Chase. Plus, you've got some new guys out there. We mentioned the offensive line for St. Louis. Because this game technically doesn't matter for next week because of the matchup already being set, it's 5 new offensive linemen starting for St. Louis.
And Anthony Beck told us we're trying to see who's going to help us out next week in the championship, right? Some of these guys don't start. Some of them are playing different positions. Donovan West is usually right guard. Number 54, he's playing center. All this matters with the operation of the offense. So far, so good.
Throwing from his own end zone, and Silvers goes down. The safety for the DC defense. Andre Mintz gets home.
And this is what you call a covered sack. Safeties.
Hammer and turn.
What a Friday night.
The safety, and there's a huge.
And still only in the 1st quarter. Who knows what else can happen in the next couple hours here. So the first safety ever in the league's history comes in week 10 of year 2. And DC will get it back after Mintz has his 5th sack of the year. And treading water across the 25-yard line, Jaden Mickens brings the DC offense back out.
Even the refs are falling. This guy up here fell. They got to get some cleats for these refs, man. Oh my gosh, look at this right side over here. You're going to see it. Jaden Mickens on the return. What's the right side of your screen? Right here. He's going to hit the turf as he's trying to spot the football. Right there. Oh, I'm glad he got up. Oh man, you see him right there? Oh my gosh. ACL's intact though, we're good.
Ready?
All right, so the DC offense back out after a scare for the linesman. And DeLillo, this is part of his game going back to college. He can run a little bit. He picks up 3 yards on this carry.
I mean, the ball is just sitting in a puddle from the center.
Sonic 16.
And as a quarterback, when you see that ball come back just drenched, never a good feeling, just a little zone read. If I was St. Louis, I would make him carry the football all night long.
Ready? Go!
Turkey Bowl-like conditions for DeLillo in his first start of the year, his first pro start. He brings up 3rd down. Probably not what he envisioned. His first professional start, his first start overall since he was at Austin Peay University in 2023. And he's got a 3rd and 5 upcoming.
Hey, trips left 14, Denver State.
You know what is interesting, though, Connor, is Tom Brady liked to say that he was so good in inclement weather because it slowed everything down.
Here we go.
So maybe there can be an opportunity for a guy making his first start to have the game slow down just a little.
3 straight runs for him, and maybe at his speed for everybody else, a first down for DeLillo.
Sorry.
And he's a really good runner. I want you to watch Abram Smith right here. He's going to go up. He's going to block number 59 on this little ISO. You gain a runner. It's an excellent job. I mean, there's open space. If you're going to get your quarterback beat up, he's your backup, I get it. But a nice little juke move right there. Lowering the shoulder a little bit, falling in the puddle. Nice job by Abram Smith, though, to spring that run.
A little help from the back for DeLillo brings up a first down late in this first quarter. And off the play fake. He's taking a shot through the conditions and almost connected on it. Seth Williams on the slip and slide. Incomplete, and it's 2nd down. Screen on 2nd down. Deion Jackson secures it, but not getting very far. Carson Wells and a host of Battlehawks get him for 3rd down.
And I've been in some of these rain games before, college, NFL. I got small hands, barely 9 inches, and everyone talks in the NFL and the UFL. Hey, what's the hand size? What's the hand size? Russell Wilson, one of the biggest hands I've ever seen, played in the Pacific Northwest. When it rains, he can grip the football. The ball is impossible to spin. The accuracy goes out of the window. You just hope and pray that you can get it to your receiver.
And you're saying you'd almost rather have it waterlogged than spotty wet, right? On this 3rd and 7, that's incomplete. And in between a couple of receivers, Chris Rowland in the area. But that's better than it. It's better to have it fully waterlogged than spotty.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're going to see, I mean, like, you know, that last throw, Chris Rowland's wide open. It's just hard to be accurate as a quarterback right now with this football. And I'm really surprised that they're continuing to throw the football. I know they want to get their backup quarterbacks reps, but you almost want to get into heavy personnel and just pound the rock.
Now, 2 pretty good operations on the punt for DC since the wet conditions. It ends up being a short one, but Paxton Brooks gets it off. And he heard from Brandon Silvers, man, it's hard just to throw the ball away right now. Let's see what's coming up on this next drive. This team up 5. Touchdown, 10 yards in the backfield, so 2nd and 20. And Howard gets some of that back.
All right, 11. All right, let's go stunt to lurk. Stunt to lurk, stunt to lurk. Stunt to lurk.
Stunt to lurk. You're going to have 2 high safeties. A lurker sort of spying the quarterback right here. I was with Blake Williams and Greg Williams for 5 years in New Orleans.
A high snap from West, who's starting at center for the first time. In tough conditions, 2 snaps for Donovan West. 1 high, 1 low, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, I feel bad for this guy a little bit. He's usually a right guard, and Silvers does a good job just batting it back up to himself, and there's only so much you can do. You can see this from the ref cam. What a cool angle. But yeah, I mean, look, you just got to get the ball. I mean, you're putting yourself in bad positions. The first snap, you lose 10 yards. Then you gain 10 back. Then you lose 3. Whoever can weather these conditions, pun intended, will come out on top.
Well done. Booming punt sends Mickens back to the 10 from Hoffrichter. And he zigzags his way and hops through the puddle at the 35. And a 25-yard return for Mickens sends Willow in the offense back out for DC.
Ready?
Willows read told him to throw it out to Rollins, and on 1st down.
Yeah, Javon Antonio, 2 lost fumbles on 2 catches last week, and now a drop right here. They were trying to give him some run. Just right through his hands. They're playing zone coverage. He needs to sit down right there.
Third punt since the delay for DC. They've got him all off clean as Blake Jackson spins out of a tackle. And St. Louis will be Memorial Day weekend. Good to have that on Fox. St. Louis and DC, they'll play in the conference championship game next week. And Brandon Silver's getting the start today for Max Duggan. And again, through the wet conditions, Jarvion Howard turns out a yard or two.
And if you look, Silvers is playing pretty well. He's trying to get these snaps under control, but if you look at all these receivers that they have out here, every single one of them, Connor, has taken off their gloves. I think that's the right move. Just got to get this center quarterback operation. This is exactly what Anthony Beck did not want to see. He didn't imagine a puddle on the field when he was doing that. Just get the snap. Just get the rhythm. Get the first down and get this drive going.
180.
Silver's a former air raid quarterback, very receiver friendly, according to Anthony Beck, and they do air it out. He has Pearson along the sideline. First downfield ball they hit on since the delay, and that brings a smile to Silver's face.
Core Pearson right here, double move. You see him on a slant and go. He's usually a slot guy. They wanted to get him more involved. He's usually their gadget guy. He's also the punt return leader in the UFL, but taking the gloves off, body catching, look at the eyes and the concentration. This is exactly what we were talking about. Perfectly thrown football, and this is what Brandon Silvers brings, the accuracy down the field.
His second throw tonight of 30-plus yards. That goes for exactly 30. Before the rain, he had a 38-yard hit to Hakeem Butler. Oh, tough run for Howard, who slips off tackles. Literally sliding out of tacklers for DC. And a first down for Howard.
What a run by Jarvion Howard. You're going to see left guard and center right here. Watch this hole. You can drive a freight truck through.
Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4 missed tackles right there. Making the most of his opportunities. Only has 2 rushing touchdowns for the year. 49 carries, 222 yards. He had a St. Louis record, 115 rushing yards in week 1. He's on pace for that tonight.
Yeah, testament to St. Louis's depth. Jacob Saylor's not getting carries tonight. The UFL leader in rushing yards, so it's been mostly this guy, Jarvion Howard.
And you know, we don't talk enough about defense and how they adjust to game plan being the weather. And you look at Blake Williams right here. I would imagine they're known for blitzing. They're known for wreaking havoc on offenses. They're sort of sitting back in coverage right here. I would imagine that they're going to start bringing guys down in the box and making Brandon Silvers throw the football to beat them. And there you go, all 11 guys within 10 yards.
Silvers just had success doing that, throwing downfield. They do keep it on the ground with Latulis. And he's brought down by Maxwell. And here comes the third down.
It's exactly like his dad would do, right? I was with them for 5 years. Let's see what they got going.
Race, 53 week. Race, 53 week. Race, 53 week.
So 53 week, 2 coverages in 1, depending on the formation, a 2-by-2 formation or a 3-by-1 formation. Looks like they're going to be in single high zone right here.
And they run it into that look, and it's a 4th down. Back-to-back plays from Maxwell on the interior of that line.
Great play by Maxwell. Now, I think you take the field goal right here because you're 4th and 4. This is close enough. Rodrigo Blankenship, Hot Rod as they call him, has been excellent.
Numbers 50 are eligible. 73.
But a great job, I think, by Blake Williams, just switching it up. They were in 2-high zone, back-to-back runs, negative yards, trying to have them settle for a field goal.
On a wet surface, this will be a 30-yard attempt.
First of the half, 30 seconds.
And remember, St. Louis plays their home games inside. So
excellent job. That's a great job. We spring 1 run, we're good.
And you know, Connor, I was a holder for 3 years in New Orleans. So Everyone's looking at the snapper, the holder, and the kicker. A lot of stress in this environment for Sterling Hofrichter, who is the holder, the punter. See how this operation looks.
We've seen him juggle a few punts since the 47-minute weather delay. His first shot at holding for Blankenship. He's 19 of 20 on the year, and through the weather, no problem for Hot Rod. Game recognized game, holder to holder. Well done.
I'm telling you, look at it.
Hard to manage a snap right now, but he gets his shot behind Jordan Tamu after Tamu gets this week off because the playoffs are already set.
Taking control, that's what you want as a backup quarterback, right? I was a backup quarterback my entire life. When you get in, you have to have confidence so your guys believe in you. He's taking charge. I love it.
We'll see this matchup next.
Way leads the league in passing touchdowns with 17 total offense, passing yardage, can run a little bit. They're going to score some points in DC.
And DeLillo has started 4 of 8 and chasing an 8-point St. Louis lead here. It's complete. Mason Fairchild, the tight end out of Kansas.
Brock, what are you seeing down there, man?
Yeah, the one thing that is nice is there is no wind. I don't think we're going to get any more rain. And I do think, maybe not in the middle of the field, the rest of the field is starting to drain a little bit. So I would expect the execution and the precision to go up as the weather gathers.
Ready, go!
Out the back door as Rose chasing him and beats him to the edge for a first down.
This is what Mike DeLillo brings to this team. He's faster than you think. It's a zone read right there on number 48, Chris Garrett. When he crashes down, he puts the ball on Abram Smith's belly. He takes it out. Look at the blocking down the field by Seth Williams and Mason Fairchild. Good job, high and tight. You see him carry that football, 2 hands around. He looks like a running back out there. Who taught him to carry that way?
I don't know. He was a pretty good runner at Austin Peay in college a couple years ago. He gives here. First start since then for DeLillo. They played Chattanooga in the final game of his career in the FCS playoffs. 57-yard run in that game.
So you saw defensive end crash this time. Look at him sit. It's exactly what you want. You're putting this defense, especially number 48, Chris Garrett. You got to make a choice. Do you sit there? Do you crash down? We just saw what happened with the run. I like that they went back to the play.
Ready, go!
A tough look for Abram Smith. He's got the mud all over the back of his jersey as DeLillo goes to work again. And he's not worried about sliding. Puts the stiff arm on.
It's the same exact play 3 times in a row. Now he's going to come all the way over here. There's no one there. Great job by Mike DeLillo. They're getting some runs on this play right here. 3 times in a row. Mason Fairchild and Seth Williams both blocking down the field. Really good decision to pull it right there. And you see this, like Derrick Henry-esque stiff arm.
Get set, get set!
God, I love it. Get you some.
Ready, go!
Well, brings up another first down to the ground for DeLillo. Give Smith. It's been those 2 guys pretty much this entire drive, carving out yards on the ground.
And I like that offensive coordinator, Fred Keiss. He's going just to the run. We saw throwing the football. DeLillo's 5 for 9 for only 24 yards. But he's got 38 rushing yards and only 5 carries. This is how you move the football down the field. This is the best drive we've seen of them all game long.
Ready, go!
Now, most of DC's offense has been through the air this year, and they keep it on the ground again with Smith. And that's likely the final play before the 2-minute warning in this first half.
2 minute. Take to the 2 minute. Take to the 2 minute, fell sideline.
Let's see what Mike DeLillo, who gets his first start tonight, has on this 3rd and 4.
Ready, go!
They've run it a bunch on this drive. They do again with Smith, who fights off of contact and noses his way toward the sticks. He got 5, needed 4. It's a first down.
What a nice hard run right here. You're going to see a little counter action going to your left, and Man, he was hit at the line of scrimmage, and they're just continuing
Texas
to
right
push
lady. Texas right lady.
the pile,
Lady.
and
Money,
they get
money.
it. I like that they're taking their time here. They still have 2 timeouts. I'm okay with St. Louis not taking it because it's first down. See what happens here.
Ready? Let's go.
The 8th play of this drive. Trouble with the mesh. And St. Louis got near that ball.
Rolling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense.
And they do have it. Carson Wells out of the scrum. After this drive was moving downhill for DC, they get to go on the slip and slide on the St. Louis side. First turnover of the night gives it back to St. Louis with 1:13 and 3 timeouts before halftime. And a draw play for Howard. A very delayed draw. And second down coming up. Also coming up, the Progressive halftime show. First half stats from this weather-delayed opening game of Week 10. The best of the season as we get to the end of the regular season, and some of the best from throughout the UFL over the past couple of months. With the playoffs to come next week with these two playing in the XFL Conference Championship game. Howard grinds out more tough yards between the tackles, and the clock stops with 41 seconds until the break.
And I'm good with them taking their time here. You know, if the conditions were right and you had your starter in there, maybe you're throwing it. You make DC use your timeouts. But Brandon Silvers, wet conditions. You're already up 10-2. You don't want to have more injuries. We saw an injury earlier. This is the right decision from head coach Anthony Beck to just sort of try to run out the clock.
We were both Connor and
let's go.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Connor. I think one thing to keep in the back of our pocket is there may be some quarterback movement here in the second half as well. Right, so in all these conditions, all these moving parts that we talked about tonight, you know, keep an eye on that in the second half here too, because Anthony Beck just said he wants to give everybody an opportunity to play.
Wow, good point there.
Bunch left.
And you're probably wondering at home, why did DC use that timeout? They're probably not going to get the ball back. They're not going to do it. Well, if they stop them here short, use a timeout, make that punt operation go to work. You never know what can happen in these conditions.
180.
Saw Chevin Cordero standing by. He's active tonight. We could see him in the second half. And now a first down for St. Louis, all on the ground with Howard. And with 33 seconds left, Howard flapping the wings with a flag down.
You're going to get some extra curricular activity.
You were killing it for a timeout here.
On number 99, Joe Wallace, one of the best D tackles in the league. Little push after.
Yep. Okay. I got unnecessary roughness, defense number 99.
So that's after the play, and we're going to add it on. Number 99. So personal foul. Okay.
Yeah.
The result of the play is a first down. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 99, 15-yard penalty, first down.
You're going to see it right here. Big number 99 coming up. A little extra shove. I don't know about that. But the DC defenders sort of imploding right here. A fumble on the run. Now a personal foul. Now you have 3 timeouts, 33 seconds. You got plenty of time to get into field goal range. Do you run it? Do you throw it? I think you have your whole playbook open right now. This is where it gets interesting. They were trying to run the clock out. They could go down and get 3 points right here.
Set. 180. 180 set.
For Brandon Silvers, maybe your last series of the game. He throws up top and a turnaround catch for Blake Jackson. Forget running out the clock. They hit one deep for 26 yards and another first down.
It was our player to watch. It's exactly what we wanted. Just a simple go route. These throws are easy to do it in the rain because you know exactly where you're going to throw the football. Just give a little air on the football down the right sideline.
This is a league that has produced very good kickers. Rodrigo Blankenship trying to follow that lineage of Jake Bates, Brandon Aubrey from the UFL back to the NFL for Hot Rod.
Set. Turbo set.
And a run play on 2nd and 9 with that 1 timeout left. They ease it inside the 20. And the Battlehawks will let the clock tick before we see Blankenship.
Timeout, St. Louis. Their third and final of the half. 30 seconds.
And Blankenship split it from 30 yards earlier. With the track very much in question at that point. The operation very good. You were, Chase, very complimentary of the job Hoffrichter did as the holder.
This one in that operation right here, man.
Yep.
It's the biggest thing. The middle of the field is the wettest. It looks to have dried up. Best kicker in the UFL. See if you can nail it.
20 of 21 on the year for Blankenship after his first quarter make. And that one also true to send this game into halftime. So this game started with a touchdown drive for St. Louis. A 47-minute weather delay after that, and St. Louis